fresh and brand new host of the show today. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Okay, my name is Joe Pyritz. I'm the Public Information Officer for Pinal County, and also why we're here today is at the CAClive show. I'm here with Alice Wilcox, who is from the Pinal County Federal Credit Union. 2 Fridays ago, we were named to the CAC Wall of Fame for success after our graduation, I imagine. Yeah, that's what it is. Very nice ceremony. One of 12 of us were inducted this year, Joe, and it was a very nice ceremony, and it was nice to be at the Penn Center that just was recently renovated.
That is fantastic. The Wall of Fame. Oh, you've got an ear cup there backwards. But it's very close. You know, they're those DJ cups that fold up.
I wonder it didn't fit very well.
Joe, tell us a little bit about what you do on a regular basis. I mean, you're no stranger to being on the air, that's for sure.
No, actually, I got my start in TV. And actually, when I was in college, I was in radio down in Tucson on a station called KTKT, 990 KTKT.
All right.
Which was, I worked late at night, and basically what I did was I read the news and read the sports.
Very good. And the weather once in a while, right?
No, not really. Only if it was raining, I'd be coming in going, gosh darn it, couldn't make it here on time because of the rain. But actually right now I'm the Public Information Officer at Pinal County, and what that does basically is I keep the people informed on what is going on within the county. We run a TV station called Channel Pinal, which is one of our brand new ventures, and that is, I mean, it's amazing to do that.
And I might say it's a great show, a great station, a great show you put on. I watch it all the time.
Hey, and take a look who just showed up. Tom D. Camillo.
All right, Tom. How you doing there, Tom?
You got me on? I will tell you, I don't want to steal our thunder from our guest. We had an unusual situation at CAC this morning. We had Fox News on campus this morning out of Phoenix, and they did a whole segment on our entertainment industry technology program, and then they did a whole segment live. Both were live, and on the Nutcracker and the Penn Center, so where you guys had your induction ceremony, and it started this morning about 7:30, and we were on. Couldn't buy that much airtime that we were on.
And aren't you starring in that Nutcracker?
No.
I guess must have got my information wrong there.
He must have split when the time for the ballet classes came up.
Right.
They do this thing called Dance Friday, and they wanted me to get on camera. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. So we.
Your brother would do it, though.
My brother would definitely do it. So, but he makes his money on his own show.
There you go.
Hey, why don't we talk about Alice? Alice, what do you do for Pinal County Federal Credit Union?
Well, I am the president CEO of Pinal County Federal Credit Union. I've been there about a year and have come from financial institutions. That's where my career started, right out of high school, and then attending college later in life, and tried some other things. And then about 8 years ago, went back to Sun State Bank as their chief financial officer, and then went on to a new bank here in Mesa, Gateway Commercial Bank. Or I say here in Mesa, it's a little farther down the road. And then had an opportunity to go back to Pinal County Federal Credit Union, which is where my family was raised, in Pinal County.
And I might say, Pinal County Federal Credit Union, great place, right down behind the Sonic, off of Hunt Highway. Definitely check it out, guys. Go in there. Wonderful service. I've been there many times. As a matter of fact, I'm working on opening up some accounts there at this time right now.
Great. And we hear that all the time. So thanks.
Absolutely.
You know, it's great that somebody like Joe can jump in and do the interviews, because we've been on each other's stuff. I was on his show and he was on mine. Alice, can you explain the difference between a credit union and what a bank? Because people hear that term, and what are the differences?
Well, the major difference, technically, there's a difference in the structure. A bank is owned by shareholders that invest in that bank and therefore get a profit from it. A credit union is owned by the members. It is a nonprofit, and any profit that is generated through that operation goes right back to the members in the form of either a lower interest rate on your loan or a better interest rate on your deposits, which, right now it's pretty hard to see, but it is there. And also a credit union being member owned and not having to streamline necessarily to cut costs and so forth to improve profits, we can focus on member service.
You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley. Tom D. Camillo along with Joe Carrero. Joining us are a couple of CAC's Wall of Success inductees, Alice Wilcox from the Pinal County Federal Credit Union and Joe Pyritz from the county. And let's shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about the induction ceremony. And you guys had a unique opportunity to do it in the Penn Center. In the past, it was done in the cafeteria. And I kind of want to, and I'll start with you, Joe. We didn't tell a lot of people how it was going to play out. We kind of, until that night, and even the people that came in didn't know, because this was vastly different than what we did. Talk about your experience and when you went through this whole process, at the actual induction ceremony. What did it mean to you, and kind of what was your feeling afterward?
You know, my feeling of, I was kind of at the point where I was like, whatever happens, happens. And I really didn't have a prepared speech. I just went up there and kind of winged it. And I didn't know exactly how much time we were going to, you said something about 2 minutes or something, and I'm really bad about going over time. Really bad. And I learned that from TV. It's like, well, you're only supposed to have 1:30, but I'd always go 2:30, 3 minutes, no problem. Just kept on going. And like I said, I like to talk. So it was a perfect venue for that. But, I was telling Doris, the dean, president, I said the last time I was on this stage was May 13th, 1983. And she goes, May 13th? I said, that was our graduation. She goes, oh, well, we hold it out on the lawn now. Like, wow, that is amazing. I mean, that they would do that. They had so many people. I think in our graduating class, those that participated at CAC in 1983, I think there were 125.
That graduated at the Signal Peak campus?
Yes.
And now it's way more than that now.
Exactly. And that's what I love about CAC. The fact everything has grown. I made a kind of a joke there during the ceremony that's saying that, if you guys would have had the culinary program when I was there, I would probably be 100 pounds heavier now and probably be in a chef somewhere. But, I love the fact that you guys have actually grown to do everything that you're doing for the students. I mean, honestly, when I graduated in 1983, I would have never foreseen that, be honest with you. But driving home from the ceremony with my wife that night, she turned around and said, it was a really nice thing to do. It's like you felt like you were a part of a family there. And that's what I've always felt about CAC. I felt I was brought back into the family. And I appreciate that, Tom, from CAC.
That was the goal. Alice, before we have you answer the question, I think Joe got a call.
Actually, let's really quick just go through a few of these calls that happened before you got here, and then we've got a couple of calls really quick here. Rochelle from Tulsa, 28th birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Shout out. Happy birthday there.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa.
Rochelle, that's right.
The Golden Hurricanes, University of Tulsa.
ORU, too.
That's true.
Mindy from Phoenix would like to know, how can she watch your show and when is it on?
Actually, we have a lot of programming, and you can get it on YouTube, believe it or not. Go to our website, www.pinalcountyaz.gov, and you'll see a link on the front page there for YouTube. Hit the YouTube site. We have all our programs streaming on there.
Very nice, very nice.
Hey, thanks for that call. I mean, hey, anytime we can prove, show off our programming at CAC, and also you'll be able to see Tom as well.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple of times.
And that's important. Let's see. Betty and Ted, San Bernardino, just called in, moving very soon to Santan Valley, and would like to know, they said this is perfect timing because they are looking to relocate their business and personal accounts and want to know, they like credit unions, but is there any pre-qualifications they have to have in order to get into your establishment, bring their accounts there?
The only requirement is that you live, work, worship, or attend school in Pinal County.
Well, look at that. And you have money.
Sounds great.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You don't have to have a lot of money.
Well, Betty and Ted, this is where you want to be. Pinal County Federal Credit Union, definitely endorsed and loved by us here at KQCK.
Does the credit union? What's the website for the credit union?
It is www.pinalcountyfcu, stands for federalcreditunion.com.
Okay.
And then our last one here before we move on, Cheryl from Coolidge. I just want to say thanks for calling in. Thanks for watching our show. And I will have some Don't Stop Believin' for you by Journey at about the 1 o'clock hour.
All right. Is that Cheryl?
That would be Cheryl from Coolidge.
From Coolidge. A shout out. How you doing? But what is the mortgage rates right now, Alice?
Well, long-term mortgage rates are really at an all-time low.
Is that 30 years or more?
30 years, 20, 30 years, those conventional mortgages. And the rates are actually about 4. They fluctuate between 4.25, things like that.
Yeah.
You can get a second mortgage at about 5% right now.
Are a lot of people coming in right now to the credit union to refi?
There are a lot of opportunities to refi, and that is correct. We do have a partnership with CU Member Mortgage, which is a long-term mortgage company, conventional mortgage company, and we are seeing a lot of refis. It's a great time. I do think the rates are at an all-time low. They may stay here for a while, but as time goes on, the rush starts with refis, and it'd be a good opportunity. As far as second mortgages, we're also seeing there is value in homes. Those that have had their home for a while, the rates are at an all-time low for a second mortgage for improvements or a pool, something like that. So rates as low as 5% on those.
Wow.
Do you see a lot of CAC in your role? Obviously, there's probably a lot of CAC students, of all ages that graduate to probably use the credit union. Do you see familiar faces?
Oh, we do. We do. And our credit union actually has a very young membership. A lot of credit unions being an older concept, a lot of people start their membership when they're young. Their parents started an account for them. At our credit union, we do have a lot of young members that see us as a financial institution of choice. And, we take great pride in that because some of the CAC students are, we have all the bells and whistles. We have mobile banking and all the things they like. And so we're real proud of the fact that we have a lot of young members. Yeah.
We're talking with Joe Pyritz and Alice Wilcox, two of the inductees of the CAC Wall of Success. The induction ceremony was just about 2 weeks ago, a week before Thanksgiving. We did it in the Don P. Penn Center for Visual and Performing Arts, and the center reopened on October 27th. So it was one of the first events in there, and Alice. That night you had a whole gaggle of kids there, and they were all in the front row. And when you got home, did you kind of feel like you had to sign autographs? Because the way I was watching the kids are looking up, I'm like, wow, she's a star.
Those are my heart. Those are 8 of my 12 grandchildren.
Wow.
And I am blessed to have them very close. They all live very close to us, and so we spend time almost every weekend together. And I don't know that they think I'm a rock star, but I can do more than play baseball in the backyard.
What was it like being up on the stage at the Pence? I mean, when they called your name and you had to get up and speak, I always say, I can get up in front of, I did something in Busch Stadium on the field. I can get up in front of 10,000 people, won't bother me. But if I have to do something in front of my family, it makes me really nervous. I can't even do it in my house, like it was my in-laws and my wife. But doing it up on and then having your family right in the front row, it's a little daunting because they know everything about you.
Yeah, they do. I think some of the comments I made as far as my children were small when I went to school, and I did study with them, accounting principles, and also one of my favorite classes was clothing and human behavior. And so I think they were like, yeah, we remember that.
Clothing and human behavior?
Yes, and it's kind of surprising when you go through a college course like that. You wonder, why in the world do I pierce my ears?
When you take a look around at the people in the class and say, okay, well, that's why they're wearing that. Yeah, so, there you go. Joe, you got another call.
We have 3 more calls.
Wow.
We're getting
calls here.
We are getting calls. Let's see. First of all, we've got John Milton, 13th anniversary to the lovely Rose.
Hey, congratulations, John
That's
Milton.
Right.
And Rose.
And John just wanted to say he's been wanting to move from Chase for a while. He wants to know, do you have bill pay?
We absolutely do. It is a brand new product. You'll love it.
Excellent.
One step sign on.
He said, I'm going to come in right away and move our accounts.
Well, we also, to have you.
Right on. We also have, let's see, Penny from Park City, Utah said she's got your YouTube channel up. You sound like a fun guy.
Well, thanks. I tried to think I am.
Is that a mushroom though? A fun guy? I mean, because that's how I wrote it. So. Sorry about that, Joe.
Park City, Utah. Thanks a lot.
And
for
she
the
said
shout
she's
out.
going to get caught up on your show and start watching it regularly. And then we've got one more. Cindy from Santan Valley said, really great. The CEO is on. You sound so pleasant and nice, and I love the friendly customer service I'm sure you have there. We're going to your bank.
You'll love that brand.
And you know what? It's a credit union, but they're going.
That's okay. You can call us
Awesome.
a bank.
Awesome. And for those of you out there that are listening, when the CEO of a credit union or an establishment comes on, and you can really tell the way the place is going to be run. I mean, just by the way the CEO is. I mean, don't you think, Joe?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get to see that she's a very pleasant person, and that type of pleasant person passes through other people. And you know what? Where I get that from? Where I learn all that stuff from? The Food Network.
Absolutely.
Believe it
yeah.
or not, it's the Food Network.
Robert Irvine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Robert Irvine, the British guy. I mean, he always tells people to be pleasant, and he gauges who the owners are and what kind of personality that they have, and it kind of translates over to their employees. So I'm sure Alice has a lot of pleasant employees there. And let me ask you one thing, Alice. When are you guys going to move over to the eastern part of the county?
We definitely have that on our short
Oh,
list.
really? Oh, that's good.
Joe's a native of that side of the county.
San Manuel, Arizona. Hello,
Well, it's
yeah.
one of my favorite small towns.
Yeah, and it's
It's a
changed
beautiful
quite a bit
drive,
since
too.
the mines have moved out. But one thing that was very interesting, what Tom said here about speaking in front of 5 people. I get up on a weekend. I do the Arizona Wildcat hockey. I do the announcing for them. Okay. So I'm in front of 5,000 people. I have no problem doing that. No problem at all. Again, one-on-one, 4 or 5 people, that's when I have the problem. Believe it or not. I just tend to kind of freeze up a little bit, but 5,000 people, I can get up there and go, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and hockey fans everywhere," and doesn't faze me one bit. But again, getting up there in front of that crowd there, I was a little fazed by it.
It's I know, Alice, you've had to probably address the employees of the credit union. That's really nice. More nervous or less nervous?
More nervous.
In front at the Penn Center.
Awesome. Much more nervous.
Talk about being a CEO. It's funny, you watch these shows where the CEOs go undercover, and there is a change in the culture in this country of what was considered the CEO and this sometimes autocratic kind of hard line that you saw in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And now it's more about kind of getting the best out of your employees. And talk about kind of your philosophy with that and how you get the best out of your employees.
Well, I think that listening to them, I think they do have great ideas. And having come up through, various promotions in my career, I do feel like they do have good ideas. They're the ones that operate the program. And at Pinal County, the culture is such that we do take care of each other. So they listen equally well. There's a lot of give and take, and we're open to feedback. But I think that my staff is also open to feedback. So we have a very good exchange between us. And I think we started that from day one, but I think that culture was in Pinal County Federal Credit Union before I arrived.
Do you think
It's very
that
easy to get into.
your experience at CAC and the type of college has helped mold you the way you are as a CEO?
I do think that CAC transitioned me from high school into a major university, a state university of ASU. They have professors that do not babysit. They have professors that have, demands, and but they're also very accessible. So it's a really very good transition. But I had this conversation with one of my vice presidents just the other day that I was not very punctual before I went to college. And the first semester at Central Arizona College, I understood very well that you're going to miss an awful lot if you're late. And there was no backtracking. So I learned a lot from that. And I think that was a good transition, not thrown into a major university, but, there was definitely expectations.
Joe, you got a call.
And for you callers out there, my lines are just all lit up. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a few calls and then turning off the phone. So if you're ringing in and it's ringing, just hang tight and I'll pick it up. We have got Pearl from Gold Canyon who said, "Please excuse me, I am not computer savvy whatsoever. But do you have any other locations currently besides the one location?"
We have locations in Santan, Apache Junction, Coolidge, Florence, Casa Grande, which is our home office, and Maricopa. So we have 6 locations total.
So
And-
for Gold Canyon, going into Apache Junction's fairly
Would be
close.
very close.
And Pearl
yes.
said, I would love to move to a credit union. So I hope we bring in lots of new blood to Pinal County.
What's the cross streets for your or what's your location in Apache Junction?
It is Phelps Drive and Apache Junction Trail.
Okay,
Apache
right down.
Trail.
That's
right down the street from the campus.
There's a good
CAC.
Mexican food restaurant there,
Yes.
owned by Gary Nine, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Dr. Nine, yes.
Sounds like I know all the food places, huh? Joe's pulling in the national calls today.
Oh, hey.
We've got another Joe from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
He said it the right way.
Worcester
I said it the way
Wildcat-
I said it the way Joe said it. So
Worcester.
The Ice
and-
Cats.
The Ice Cats, that's
Right?
right. I
Yeah.
actually saw them
AHL.
play the Portland Pirates.
Yep.
in
oh, you
Portland,
guys
Maine
are
one
killing
time.
me. I don't know sports, man. Wow, you guys are awesome. He said, "Were you the main newscaster in L.A. in the late '90s? You have a great presence, and I don't live in Pinal County, but I'm going to watch your show."
No, actually, I was the sportscaster in Tucson, Arizona. Little old Tucson, covering the Arizona Wildcats.
Gotcha. Well, there's your answer
Thanks,
there.
I appreciate the thought about going to L.A. I wish I could
Hey,
have had that
there
money.
you go. And then Bert from Memphis said, "Do you have any other national type sporting events that you do, or any kind of shows? I'd love to watch them."
No, not really. Not any other national shows. What I do with the Arizona Wildcat hockey team, we used to be known as the Ice Cats. And then the school took over it, and it was owned by one guy. His name was Leo Golombieski. And he ran the program, and then the students took over. It was kind of like a mutiny coming up a couple of years ago. It really was. It was an ugly scene, but a lot of us survived it. And we're now known as the Arizona Wildcats hockey team, University of Arizona Wildcats. And what happened is that I do the announcing for them. I've done announcing for the Tucson Sidewinders, the minor league team there. I've done that, and a few other things, but nothing national. I'd love to be able to do the Coyotes sometime.
Maybe we ought to investigate doing a national show on here for sure.
Well, actually, one of the ventures, yeah, I would love to do a national show
That
on
would be
there.
fun.
That would be great.
And Bert from Memphis, you just hang tight because we're going to talk to Joe about this for sure.
Yes, let's do it.
You listen to CAC Live. Tom D. Camillo along with Joe Carrero. We're speaking with Alice Wilcox and Joe Pyritz, and we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about the CAC Wall of Success and more about the time at CAC that our guests spent there and getting their education. You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley.
Our family pets are such a big part of our lives. That's why Kelly's Critter Clips of Queen Creek and Sun Lakes has been providing pet grooming services for over 10 years. Your dog's comfort is very important to us, so we take the time to treat your pet with care, love, and professional attention it deserves. We welcome any size and breed and feature shampoo and conditioning, styling, flea and tick dips, ear cleaning, nail trimming, and so many other services that will leave your pet looking good and smelling good and feeling great, all at an affordable price. Located in Queen Creek and Sun Lakes, call now for an appointment, 480-655-5066. Kelly's Critter Clips. Are you ready to start taking control of your future and maximize your earning potential? Central Arizona College has smaller class sizes and personalized attention to help you compete in today's tough job market. CAC now serves Santan Valley and Queen Creek. The CAC Santan Center is located in the shops at Copper Basin on Hunt Highway, behind Barrow's Pizza. Stop in and see how taking classes at CAC costs a fraction of a state university, and your credits can transfer. So, if you want to earn real money, you need to learn real skills at Central Arizona College. Enroll in classes today by calling 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu or call 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu. Central Arizona College, your college, your way.
Are you experiencing computer problems? Is your computer running slow, bogged down with viruses and spyware? You need a reliable and knowledgeable, trustworthy computer service company. Contact Computers, Networks, and More, located in Santan Valley. Get your computer or laptop running in top condition by a certified technician with 20-plus years experience and beta tester from Microsoft. Computers, Networks, and More provides repairs and solutions to any computer-related issue, whether it's software, installation, troubleshooting, updates, or tune-ups. You can trust Computers, Networks, and More. Contact Jeff Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to schedule an appointment. We can have you up and running quickly, usually within 48 hours. Located in Santan Valley. Computers, Networks, and More. We're here for you. Contact Jeff at 480-729-8899. That's 480-729-8899.
You're back live on KQCK in the Santan Valley. Tom D. Camillo, Joe Carrero, and this is CAC Live. And we started a little bit late today. I was down on the campus. You can check out my Fox News Phoenix, and they are running the videos of what they filmed today on their website, and it was also live on the program today. Don't forget, the Nutcracker is playing at the Penn Center tonight and tomorrow night. Tickets are just $12. There are some tickets remaining, but I would encourage you to go online and purchase them in advance. We've been having highly successful shows, so we don't want people just showing up if we're sold out. When I can't guarantee one way or the other, but I'm encouraging you to go online and get the tickets for tonight or tomorrow night's show.
How did the Gin Blossoms turn out?
Gin Blossoms turned out really well, and we had about 250 in the theater.
Really?
I thought we might have a little bit more, but when you do a concert like that and you have so much going on in the area, high school stuff and everything, but the show was outstanding. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: we knew going in that we wanted it as kind of a splash, regardless of how many people showed up. We wanted a splash. Well, the Gin Blossoms concert led to what happened today, because they got the information on that. They actually were trying to get the Gin Blossoms on the Fox News morning show beforehand. Mm-hmm. They couldn't do it because they were out of town. But what ended up happening today is Dan Bush was actually on live promoting the EIT program. Mm-hmm. So we had our students that are musicians. They're learning to be rock stars. Oh, cool. And in the back end. So they were all on, and they were actually performing. So they were on the in and out segments, and they interviewed every student got interviewed. It was all done live, and then they took a break. In the next hour, they came in and did the entire. They did we were doing performances in full dress of the Nutcracker, and they were doing live shots, and then they showed off the theater, and they had Dora Tompkins on, who talked about the CAC programs. So buying airtime on television is prohibitive probably for our purposes, but to get something like that. So the Gin Blossoms concert opened up that avenue, so it was well worthwhile. But one of the big events was the Wall of Success that you guys were involved with. It was one of the, if not the biggest one. In the first year we had 44 inductees because it's the 40th anniversary. We did 40, but I'm going to tell you, we probably had 150, 175 people for 44, and most of those were the inductees. This year we had 12. Mm-hmm. And actually, Lionel Ruiz got sick and couldn't make it. And I know he probably had 30 or 40 people coming with him that night. But what I'd like you guys to did you like the touch of the culinary arts students making the food that night? And I kind of want your thoughts about that.
Go ahead, Alice.
We really, my whole family enjoyed that. That was first class, and, very, very well done. Okay. And, it was all very good food, but also just the serving of it, and it was very special.
Joe, I know we wanted to make this special for you guys, because I think when you hear we're going to induct you in a Wall of Success, and a lot of people go to their four-year institution as that's where they graduated from and spend a lot of time. But, when we did this and set it up that way, we really wanted you guys to feel special, but to say, hey, this is a huge deal. And that's how we wanted it to come across, and it seemed to come across that way.
Right. I mean, we had the pictures taken right before, and that was great. I'm waiting to see mine. I mean, nothing be kind of like, okay. But no, that and the food being served, the music, everything that was involved with it. I mean, it was so well run. everything was done right on time. And again, the culinary arts students, like Alice said, unbelievable job. My wife was very impressed with the food and even the desserts that they served. I think I grabbed a couple of cookies before I left on the way home. So now it actually turned out great. And that's one thing I really always admired about CAC. That place, it always made me feel special when I'd come out of high school and gone to school there, because I was in San Manuel, a place that's kind of insulated. Everybody is on the same plane. Everybody's father worked for the mine or the railroad or the smelter. So everybody was on an even plane. When I went to CAC, I was thinking, oh my God, it's going to be college. It's, I'll probably be one of those guys that, just gets lost in the numbers. Never did. But when I went to the University of Arizona, the first thing that they give you when you sign up there is a matriculation number. So right then you feel like
Whoa.
You're a number. And with CAC, that never happened. I mean, they'd always call you by your first name and along those lines. That's the one touch I think I really needed the most coming out of a small town like San Manuel, coming over there, because it felt kind of like an extension of high school, but the chance you're away from your parents, and also the stakes are a little bit higher.
Yeah, Alice, you said it helped you time management, and do you think that would you have gone on to a 4-year university, or would it have been a lot harder had you not gone to CAC? And I'll ask you, Joe, that after Alice answered the same question about feeling like a number. Did that really bridge the gap for allow you to go to do that?
Oh, I definitely think it helped to bridge that gap. I had learned my parents both went to college, and so they kind of prepared me for, they're not concerned with you. You need to be concerned. You need to be responsible, things like that. And I was a little bit older and had already been in the workforce for several years. But I do think that you have to learn each professor. And, during that short 2-year period, I kind of was able to kind of learn how the college experience works. Going on to issue, it was definitely a different transition. It was a lot harder than Central Arizona, just because of that fact that you go from a class of 30,
Union,
that the professor did know your name, to a class of 200. But it wasn't quite as severe as going right straight into that.
When you walked around the campus of CAC and you're going to class and you passed a professor that you had, they would recognize you.
Absolutely.
But that's not always the case in a 200 or 300 seat
Oh, no.
lecture hall.
No.
So there was a big difference.
There's a big difference, but one of my dreams in life was to go to college, and to not just go to college to get the degree to enhance your career, but to have that experience. And so Central Arizona campus is a full college. It has the sports and the dorms and all of that whole experience, and that was just a thrill to be a part of that.
Joe, you came from a small town,
Right.
And that's, when you look at Pinal County, especially at that time, Signal Peak campus in that area was a small town going bigger. So but you
Exactly.
came from a smaller area. Did that help you transition to go get your 4-year degree?
I'm going to make a bold statement here. If I wouldn't have gone to CAC and went straight to the U of A or ASU, I would have failed, honestly. CAC was that important in my life. I think
Culture shock.
exactly. It would have been a great culture shock. But also, too, I think CAC gave me the impetus, the work ethic that I needed to get through classes. I mean, the professors. I mean, I've actually gone, when I was there, going to professors' homes for holiday parties and everything. I would never expect that at the University of Arizona, in fact.
Who were some of the professors that stood out?
Alan Morton was one of them. He was the astronomy and geology professor. He took us down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
Never have done that before. I thought that was great. Camping out underneath the stars and watching
Wow.
the astronomy. I mean,
You don't know how
that at
you don't
the
know
U of A.
how often we hear this. Every week, people that come in here are very successful, or very successful working at the college, and they were either students that just loved it so much they just made a career out of being professors, and or at some level at the college there, or people that are have come in from other places that were graduates. And I have not heard one person who has said a negative thing, and most people have said, if I didn't go to CAC, I definitely would not be where I'm at now, and thank God.
Exactly.
I mean, what a college.
I think it really shaped me for what I am today, honestly. And it was a chance to get out, spread the wings, but also develop some skills I really needed when I went on to the university.
And that brings us to Raul in Casa Grande, who said he had two things to say. First of all, he said, wow, CAC grads become celebrities. Congratulations, Alice and Joe.
Thanks.
And he just wanted to know, do you know how much the tickets are for the Nutcracker?
$12.
Beautiful
$12
price.
across the board, adults and kids. Go to events@cac.com, and it's events AT, not the @ sign. Events@cac.com.
And then we get Sarah from Queen Creek. And I'm going to kind of go through these quick because we've
Okay.
got 5 here. Sarah from Queen Creek. Are all the seats good in the Penn Center? Never knew about it. So glad I'm watching.
Well, you guys saw the theater. They're all good seats,
They're
aren't
all
they?
great seats, yes.
They're the seats are outstanding, and they're handicapped accessible seats throughout the theater. So there's a lot of different spots if anybody needs those.
Then we got Ronnie from Apache Junction with Beth from Pine Top. Says, congrats on the Hall of Fame, Wall of Success, the Gin Blossoms rock, and CAC rules.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Marianne from Mesa. Tom, she has forgiven you for being late today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Us here at SRP, love you. And 2 of us are CAC grads that work in in this SRP office.
You know, that's awesome. And since we have so many listening, we are taking nominations for the Wall of Success. Right. And again, if you guys know people, we're taking them through into May. And for next year, we're actually setting our date for next year. I actually found out today that one of the Fox news anchors in the morning is a CAC grad. Kristen
Celebrities.
Anderson
See that?
played basketball at CAC.
What's her name again?
Kristen Anderson.
Oh,
She
that's
does the
amazing.
morning. I know she's on at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And then
Not seeing that.
No,
Sorry.
Just remember, when you sign up,
So-
to go to CAC, there's a little box up in the upper right-hand corner. It says, do you want to come become a celebrity when you graduate? And if you check yes, you become a celebrity.
I think my mom did that for me.
I'm pretty sure she did. Bertha from Tucson. Any Pinal County credit unions in Tucson? I want to become part of the family.
Unfortunately, our charter is limited to Pinal County.
Gotcha.
So if you have a church you like to attend in Pinal County, there you go.
Well, there you go. I think Bertha must go to a church out here. Right?
Which one?
That's right.
Yeah.
All right,
Take
thank
some
you.
classes at Central Arizona College.
That's the way.
And you could take them if you're in Tucson area now. You could go over to Saddlebrook right across the border
Exactly.
and take some classes
And
there.
all ages there. You don't have. You can just
Right.
take them if you want to take them. And from what we get, a lot of calls from, people a little older that are taking the fantastic art classes.
Yes.
I mean, almost every week we get those.
It's part of this lifelong learning program. There's a lot of opportunities for classes, and we have great professors and great teachers. Alice, what were some of the professors that you dealt with that you recall that really had an impact at CAC for you?
Well, I mentioned in my congratulatory speech, or my talk at the Wall of Success induction ceremony, I talked about 2 professors in particular. Dr. Marion Cornelius, who has since passed, was the very first professor that I didn't realize that the professors there were able to give a scholarship. And she actually presented that to me and said,
Wow.
I've not been able to find a nursing student. Are you interested? Well, I had been taking a few classes at a time because of the accessibility of CAC. And I said, oh, yes, that'd be great. I could go full-time. And then the second year, I began to look for a professor for a scholarship. And Dr. Walt Fawcett, was generous enough to allow me to use his scholarship to finish my second year there. Without those scholarships, I do not think I might have been able to attend. Those were definitely an incentive. I had a young family, I had a full-time job, and I'm not sure I would have completed it, especially in the timely manner that I did in a couple of years, being able to go full-time because of that help.
When you look at when you say the word accessibility, and you look at that, and you look at a program that CAC does like Promise for the Future, and getting students in, what does that mean to you to know that your alma mater is being able to do that for students?
Well, I do. I came from a small town as well, Wilcox, which is close to the Bowie, the New Mexico border. And there are community colleges, but they're 30 minutes away. That accessibility was huge, and I think it's huge in our county, that there are campuses throughout our county, And, when you are working and you have a family and, limited resources, just having it right there so you can take a few classes at a time in the evening or, things like that. I think it's huge. I'm not sure I would have attended college if I hadn't had it so close, 15 minutes away from my home.
When you talk about accessibility, geography obviously is a huge factor. The Promise for the Future program is a financial barrier to help people overcome. The family atmosphere, the professors making people comfortable, is all that just describes CAC? I mean, is that the image even today that you guys have been out, the college for several years? Does it still look like that to you?
Right. I mean, really, if you go back now, other than a few buildings, the place has not changed.
It has the same feel?
Yes, it does have the same feel. In fact, I walked through the dorms area, and it's the same thing. It is the same exact thing. And that's what I loved about CAC was the fact that it had dorms. Pima Community College didn't.
I think that's also a plus.
But Alice, obviously, you didn't live in the dorms because it'd be kind of hard to bring the kids over.
But the accessibility, Alice, for somebody like you that had a young family, obviously it's paid dividends now. But that was if it wasn't accessible and really you had to conform to its schedule, the college's schedule, you might not have completed.
That's right. That is absolutely right.
Where would you have gone? You would have had to drive pretty far, I guess.
Right. I just think I might have continued to take one or two classes at a time and perhaps not finish. That's, I think, ultimately might have been the outcome.
Is it too strong to say that CAC has life-altering experiences for its students? Is that too strong a statement?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think so at all. It was life-altering for me. Not only just, an advancement in my career, but it was a dream, to have a college education, and that's a dream put to rest.
Joe, looks like we're getting off the hook today.
I'm getting my hand workout today here. Am I right? Jared of Queen Creek. Where's the closest location to Queen Creek? And I recommend going to the web. Can we get the contact information again for the Pinal County Federal Credit Union?
Pinal County, www.pinalcountyfcu.com.
And they can get all the locations right there?
All the locations there. The closest location to Queen Creek is our Santan Valley location.
Nice. Right down the road from us.
Exactly.
Stop in and see us at the studio.
There you go.
When you go and do that.
Exactly. Just look for the alpacas.
Lionel says, I'm a member of Pinal County Credit Union and love it. And love the show, Tom.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We appreciate it.
Thanks for being our member.
Joe.
Yes.
A show mentioned, and do you take in call-ins?
No, we don't. We do not broadcast live, unfortunately.
So you go to YouTube, check out the show.
Yeah, and you know what? Feel free to write me or call me at the county if you have any ideas. Seriously, I'm always looking for ideas. I'm not too big to sit there and say I know it all. Believe me, I don't.
And then we've got Sierra from Avondale who said, thanks so much for the information. I had no idea the Nutcracker was in town. Got my tickets now and can't wait to see him.
That's awesome.
Tutus galore, right?
That is awesome.
All right.
It is. You'll enjoy it. It's the Casa Grande Booster Club that puts it on. We partner with them, and people will enjoy the experience in the theater. Joe, we do the radio show here, and we're on TV, so the way Joe has it, this is a tremendous setup. But what's it like to actually do like a TV station, like to do what you do? Because obviously it's different. We're live and we're recording kind of the studio, but yours is the focus here is audio, radio to start, and then augmented. Yours is kind of the other way around.
It's right. It's all video. That's the big push right there, is making sure the video is interesting to watch. Don't ever for a minute doubt the 7-second attention span from people.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you see in TV today a lot of people are going with a lot of fast video, a lot of quick shots and everything. And that's because people will sit there and if they watch a static shot for 15 seconds or more, they will tune out. Now, of course, we have our talk shows and everything, and it's usually me and a supervisor or me and someone else talking.
Or me and Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Actually, that turned out really well. But the thing is you want to concentrate on showing the best things that you can. I mean, there's sometimes I shoot things, and I take a look at it back at the studio, and I'm going, oh, my God, I didn't see that in the background.
You shoot things in the studio?
Video.
Oh, God. I was thinking you pulled,
Pull the
never
gun
mind.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Not corgis.
Oh, thank God.
Are we shooting corgis somewhere,
Not at
guys?
all.
Sometimes they knock at the door.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. No, visual medium is very important that you take a look at everything that you see in the background, because I've gotten away with some things in the background before that I didn't notice, and somebody will write me saying on YouTube, did you notice that person in the background? Basically, they were, looking at you kind of funny, and, honestly, I didn't notice that. But certain things like that, I mean, it's all visual. And people pay attention to that stuff.
I had a discussion. I was telling my daughter, she's 12, about there's a place you can go. You can look up the mistakes in movies that get left in. You don't realize even the high production. I always talk about. I said the Indiana Jones, the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he falls into the pyramid, catches Marion, and the snake pops up. And they talk about there's a glass, and you can see the snake in the glass, and they never caught it. Steven Spielberg talks about it, but you don't know. It takes a lot of paying. You have to pay attention.
Right.
They hire people just to watch the movies to make sure, and they still miss stuff.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, with 2 cameras and what we've been given there, we get the money from the cable companies. Basically, they pay 25 cents a subscriber per month. And that's how we're able to get that stuff on the air. But, you combine it with the other things I do for the county, along with writing press releases and stuff like that. And I can tell you, the TV portion is really satisfying for me to do that. I mean, I think that there's a lot of stories in Pinal County that we can tell. I think there's a lot of information that we can get out. It's just a matter of videotaping everything and then editing it back at the county. And I can tell you right now, I've been working on this project for the county attorney, which was the domestic violence seminar that they had, and they had some very good speakers out there. But for each hour of a show, I mean, they had speakers who spoke for an hour. It takes me about 6-7 hours to cut that.
It's interesting because this advent of YouTube,
right,
and the different things that you can put on now. Everybody thinks that they can get a camera, and there's like an expectation. You see this in college athletics a lot now. Right. And now the realization is that you need a lot of time to get 15 seconds of footage.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of time. And it's expensive if you're paying for it, Alice. If you're doing she's laughing. If you could do commercials, it's expensive.
Do you guys do commercials?
No, we don't.
There you go.
Well, you're doing this one right now.
But even for us, when we looked at CAC of trying to do commercials, it's extreme because you have talent, you have all the production costs, so you try to be up creative ways. When you're looking at trying to market and promote the credit union, how do you guys go about that in the county? Do you use a combination of billboards? Do you use audio, print ads, just a combination of things?
Well, our credit union philosophy is that we want to be a big part of the community. So that is the main way that we market our credit union, is we get involved in what our county is interested in, what our communities are interested in. And then we find a way, just like Central Arizona College, I've noticed that they find a need, and then they will create a program that can fill that need. And I think that is our best way to market Pinal County Federal Credit Union, is that we find there's a need, and we try to get into the communities and into organizations that are involved in all of our communities in the county, so we can find out where the needs are, and hopefully we can fill some of those.
So if you have and that's what I've noticed, the same thing about what we do a little bit at CAC, is that our best customers, our best marketing and advertising is word of mouth. And if you get involved with the community is hosting an event or doing something, you get involved that way, you're kind of helping the community, and that's better than sometimes just running an ad somewhere. It just because you describe the way the credit union is and about taking care of your own in Pinal County, that whole family feel, it does permeate throughout the county, and it seems people respond to that better. So
Let me ask you this, Alice. Do you guys? Is it the board of directors that sets the marketing goals, or is it you yourself as a CEO?
Our board of directors, we present to them an overall budget, and part of that is our marketing plan. But they do leave that up to me and my staff. I have a marketing coordinator and business development officer, Stephanie Cave, who's throughout the county and is well known at all the chambers and things like that. And that's how they do allow us a lot of freedom in getting out there. They do have great ideas of their own, and each of my board members is very involved in their community. We have board member from Maricopa, a couple from Florence, one from Ray Credit Union, came from Ray Credit Union. He now lives in Coolidge. So we try to have board members that are also part of their community so we can hear what they're talking about.
And those are elected by the members of the credit union
Yes.
themselves, if I'm
They
right.
are elected by the members on an annual basis.
And how many are there? Four or
There's
five?
7
Oh, 7
board
of them.
members, and then we have 3 members of what's called a supervisory committee, which is an independent committee that oversees our financials. It serves as an audit committee to make sure our members' interests are taken care of on that side. So a total of 10.
Good.
You're listening to CAC Live. Tom D. Camillo, Joe Carrero. We're going to go a little bit over today because I was tardy dealing with the broadcast. So it's the first time since we started the show over
That's
a year
right.
ago. But Joe, looks like you got some more calls.
We do. Brenda from Queen Creek says, I will be watching your shows. I love your passion, Joe.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Leanne DeRosa from Yuma says, I'm a CAC grad and loved it. It was the best part of my life.
Yes. All right.
Leanne,
Wow.
we are always looking for again nominees for the Wall of Success. And you know what? It would be really interesting, Joe, when people call in. I'm curious where they're hearing the station because I know that some will tune in on the computer, but you're also piped into like businesses and offices
Gotcha.
and those kind of things. Would be curious if you call in to kind of let us know how you're
gotcha.
listening to the show because we get a lot from Tempe Town Place and Sky Harbor.
Sky Harbor.
And we
Airport,
know
yeah.
and we know SRP now is listening.
Yes.
And the girls at Walmart.
That's true. We get that a lot too.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The girls of Walmart.
Yeah, one of the Walmarts have a sign, I think, in the break
really?
room. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
maybe
after-
it's in the whole store.
I was thinking
don't
of
know.
calendar here. The girls of Walmart.
Ironic you asked where people are listening from because John from Florence is on his iPhone right now on the way to open accounts at Pinal County. Sounds like said he
thank you,
sounds like a great family to put my money with. And his beautiful wife Susan's 53rd birthday, and she's watching too. She's a CAC grad. So definitely,
birthday.
that's right. A shout out to Susan there, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it there at Pinal County. And definitely happy birthday. Have a great day.
Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations to everybody that's having birthdays and anniversaries today and that are listening to this show. Joe, the station, are you on Channel 11 in all locations?
Oh, no.
Or is it, how does that work?
Actually, wherever they have an open channel, if they carry us in whatever channel that they have free. And that's the hard thing about Pinal County with the TV stations, how it sets up, is that we are broadcasting, but the thing is we have to feed the video from my office into the place itself. There's not one central location, central hub, where we just feed one signal out. I have to dial into the server that we have at the location, like at MediaCom or at Cox. I have to dial in, and then I have to send the video that way. And sending a whole month of programming through the phone line and everything, it takes literally 3-4 days
Wow.
to
Wow.
do that. So sometimes when I send an update and everybody's going, when's my show going to be on or whatever, I'm like, well, I'm still feeding it. Just give me a little time here. But hopefully we'll be able to, reach that when the technology comes up, that we'll be able to feed a lot faster. See, a lot of cable companies, especially in the cities, they have just they have one hub, and then the county or the city government has just one machine that they feed to one station, and then that'll be the channel 11. But since we're on in several different locations, that we get whatever's left, basically.
And I noticed that, like, I live in Santan area, so it's an unincorporated area, so it's on 11. But I noticed that some of the other communities, the local cities have on 11, so you get bumped somewhere else.
Right, and I can't say Channel Pinal on Channel 11 because I can say Channel 4 for MediaCom, I can say Channel 11 for the unincorporated Cox, and that's where we're in. We're usually in the unincorporated areas. We're not in the cities. Because they save that PEG, it's called PEG, Public Education Government Access, to the actual city themselves.
So there's no room to add it like a second one in there for you, or is it kind of hit and miss? You're not in the cities at all?
In Casa Grande, no.
Okay.
I think we are in Apache Junction, which is great for MediaCom. I appreciate them doing that. But as for Cox, I think we're only in the Santan Valley. We're not in Florence which, Florence and Coolidge, that would be great to have that. But what we do is we send out our videos out to the city cable stations. We send out our video that way to them. I can, either send it through a disc, or I can put it on what's called an FTP server, and they can download it themselves.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's terrific. You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley. And just a programming note, in a couple of weeks we're looking at that. Thursday before the holidays, we are, those that are train fans, we have tentatively scheduled one of the premier train men in the country, Jake Jacobson,
Yes.
who the National Safety Award is named after. And that's going to be that Thursday before the Christmas holiday. Jake is scheduled to be on. That's going to be a real interesting. We're going to talk trains, and he is. If you ever had a chance to talk to him and you start him, he's great. He'll give you the whole history, and it's kind of mesmerizing when you listen to it, because it's fascinating. He does it in such a way that it's you really learn a lot, and you don't realize you're learning a lot. So.
And we did a story with him one time about the business opportunities of Copper Basin Railway. And he knew my dad because my dad was a railroad man out of San Manuel for the San Manuel, Arizona Railroad. And so they used to have the whole joke going around that Jake would say he's the best railroad man in that area. And my dad go, no, that's me. So they finally decided that my dad was, since he was south of there, my dad was the best railroad man south of there. And Jake was the best in that area.
In that area?
Yeah.
Joe, looks like we got a couple more callers.
Got one more here. Didn't give a name, said an employee of MediaCom, Apache Junction. We love your show and very happy to be involved with it. You should do a live show.
Hey, I'd love to do live.
Right on.
Are we talking? Hopefully we're talking maybe doing more live TV programming. But that again, it's
I have no
that
idea,
would be
but
kind of hard to do. But if
people
we
love
want
you,
to do
Joe.
it here, if we
People
want to
love you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm loved. I'm really loved. So we have a few minutes here left. So Alice, right now, what's the future of the credit union? We're kind of looking forward to the next 5 to 10 years for the organization. What do you see kind of, will there be things changing in the economy that impacts you? I guess that's kind of a rhetorical question. That probably is true. But kind of looking forward, how do you see, after what we've seen in the economy the last, 5 years, what do you see looking forward?
Well, I do think that there is a movement from a traditional banking setting to a little more personalized. It's kind of backtracking back in time to when your financial institution really tried to find a way to help you rather than
closing the drive-through, closing the drive-through.
Yeah. But I do think that that's a continuation of what's already starting to occur, and I think that credit unions are definitely getting up to speed as far as technology. They do have the same technology and the same bells and whistles that the larger banks do have, or finding ways to partner with somebody in order to provide those services. So it's a give and take. I think credit unions recognize that, people demand some serious services here, and we need to deliver. So I think that they'll see a little more sophistication in that area.
I was part of the Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, and I always retain that, growing up there and working for the state for years and years. And I hadn't used it that much in the last few years. I just had it. And I never even thought about asking, because I didn't want to send deposits through the mail. I never even thought about asking, can you partner with other credit unions? Like here, if you're from out of state? I mean, we have a lot of winter visitors. Could they come to your facility?
Oh, absolutely.
So how does that work?
It's called shared branching.
Okay.
And if your credit union, out of state or out of town, is also part of the network, a shared branching network, then you can do all your business with our credit union and vice versa. So that's how it works. It's like a B of A. You can deposit clear, back east. You could do the same thing with our credit union, as long as yours is a partner.
I've got a question about that. When you go to an ATM, now, okay, I bank at Vantage West. I'm sorry for that. Please don't hit me for that. But
Bob Ramirez is a great guy.
But now, if I go to your ATM, since you guys aren't sharing anything, it would be a charge, as would somebody who would be at your bank going to the Vantage West, right?
If you are a shared branching member, I don't believe there's a charge at the ATM.
Okay.
Yeah. But if, there are certain credit unions that don't choose to be a part of that network. It's called Credit Union Service Network. And so there is a charge for that service.
Interesting.
Just for us to provide
Right.
all the infrastructure and so forth.
I remember I had a charge of all places, Las Vegas, $7 to take out money in
boy.
Las Vegas. I
Wow.
guess they weren't part of the shared plan.
No. I think you're guessing right there.
I think I was sharing with them a little too much.
And Joe, what's coming up for Channel Pinal?
We're going to be interviewing the new supervisors that are coming on board. We have 4 new supervisors. Pete Rios kept his position in District 1, but for 2, 3, 4, and 5, we have new supervisors. So we have Cheryl Chase coming on board. We have Steve Miller coming on board. We have Tony Smith is coming on board, and also out of the Apache Junction area, it'll be Todd House. So I'm sure we're going to get some interviews with them. We'll be looking at that, and also we're going to be taking a look at some of the people who are leaving the county as well, and just some of their thoughts on that. We'll be doing that as well. But I'm right now in the editing line for me is we're having ebooks online in our library, so you can borrow. If you have a Pinal County library card, you can actually download ebooks now, and you have a 3-week readability cycle on that. So they're getting more books in on that, and also we're going to be doing more on healthy eating during the holidays. Yes, you can eat healthy during the holidays, and it's actually the nutritionist that made the food for us. Good stuff. Really good.
Maybe you got to come on and do a cooking segment.
Hey, a cooking show. There we go.
You know what I love is people can bring plates on. You know, we had the
Exactly.
olive mill in a couple of weeks ago, and boy, that was a great show.
Okay, Joe. Now, if we're going to do that,
We're
you
gonna
need
turn
to
that- we're
turn
gonna
that
make-
into a kitchen.
We are.
There we go.
You know, maybe there was a reason today you were late because, you know, one time we had a guest on, and Glenn Beck, one of Glenn Beck's people, called in and wanted to hire him as a ghostwriter. The guy was already a millionaire. He's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't believe it. He turned him down.
He turned him down?
But wasn't that cool? Well, you just had a call from Steph, who's with the Denver Network, who loves the Pac West show, has a son that plays for the Pac West.
Wow.
And 5 of the people in the Denver Network right now, they said because so many people love you and watch your show, they're watching one of your shows on YouTube right now, and they said, looking good, you've got great style, and they may be in touch with you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Holy cow.
So get a hold of Joe in the studio, and Joe will pass it along to
I get 40% of anything, but that's cool.
Exactly. You're my agent now.
Hey, right
Joe
up.
Carrero, my agent.
Well, we want to thank both of you for coming in today. I know you have hectic schedules, and just congratulations on the Wall of Success and your induction. It was a tremendous event that night, and looked like everybody had a lot of fun. And I know, Alice, when you emailed me about can I bring the family, like, yeah, bring all the kids over. And
I was very surprised by that.
that made it, because we all were looking. The whole front row was like all
I
these
know.
little kids. It was
That was-
awesome.
Yeah, she had her own fan club. That was great. I mean, it's really neat when you see somebody get up there and you hear,
Yeah. So.
And I can see why, because you know what? I have such a great job, as you do, when nice people come in, you know? And I see nice people every day. Alice, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in.
you.
And Pinal County Federal Credit Union, again, guys,
Yes.
check it out. If you're looking for a bank, looking to make a change, you're having problems with one of your banks, go to a credit union. Check out Pinal County Federal Credit Union. Be a part of the family. That's, you know, not a number.
you're part of the family.
That's right.
It's a lot of my family like that.
But we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we
John.
won't talk about that. So, well, for Joe Carrero, I'm Tom Camillo, Joe Pyritz, Alice Wilcox. Thanks for joining us today. And again, congratulations. And don't forget, next week we'll be back on CAClive on KQCK Thursday. It will be at 10:30.
Nice.
All right.
When you visit Hill Family Dentistry in Santan Valley, dentist Dr. Tim Hill provides each patient with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you and your family with services that will make you smile. With a full range